This morning, the man who once led the FBI, now indicted by a federal grand jury. James Comey ordered to appear in court on October 9th on charges of obstruction and making a false statement to Congress.
And I'm innocent, so let's have a trial.
Comey taking to Instagram after the indictment, urging the public to pay attention.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump, but I'm not afraid, and I hope you're not either.
Comey's prosecution celebrated by President Trump, whose anger at the former FBI director stretches back years to Comey's approval of an investigation into his first campaign's dealings with Russia. Mr. Trump posting last night on Truth Social, "Justice in America." The indictment coming just days after the president voiced his frustration with the pace of the DOJ's investigation surrounding Comey and others who've investigated him, demanding on social media that Pam Bondi go after them, quote, now.
I just want people to act. If they're not guilty, that's fine. If they are guilty or if they should be charged, they should be charged. And we have to do it now.
Thursday's two-page indictment against Comey, however, not detailing a vast FBI conspiracy against Trump, as the president and his allies have alleged. Instead, it centers around Comey's testimony to Congress in 2020, when he was pressed by Senator Ted Cruz about whether he lied to Congress years earlier about authorizing a leak.
Stand by what the testimony you summarized.
Any criminal charges stemming from that testimony putting prosecutors up against the clock, with the statute of limitations set to run out next week. Internally at the DOJ, divisions over the substance of the case coming into focus after a top prosecutor tasked with leading the Comey investigation resigned last week. A senior DOJ official telling NBC News that career prosecutors also detailed the lack of evidence against Comey in a memo to Trump's new handpicked interim U.S. attorney, Lindsay Halligan, a member of his personal defense team with no experience as a prosecutor, now the sole signature on Comey's charging papers.
And the president up this morning just minutes ago posting on social media that James Comey lied. It's not a complex lie. It's a very simple but important one, going on to call James Comey a, quote, dirty cop and a destroyer of lives, guys.
All right, Laura, so let's look at this case. You're a lawyer, the strengths and weaknesses here.
Yeah, this may be a situation where it's the dog that caught the car. For so long, the president wanted this very thing. He wanted criminal charges. But once there are criminal charges, rights attack to that, which means the Comey actually gets discovery on how all this went down, including the fact that NBC News has reported there is a memo circulating within the U.S. Attorney's Office saying, please do not do this. We do not think there's enough evidence. Now, we don't know what evidence went before the grand jury. Even the defense doesn't yet know when evidence went before the grand jury. Remember, it's a secretive process. It's controlled by the prosecutors. But if, in fact, it is limited to what's in that indictment, it is a far cry from the broad conspiracy that the president and his allies have alleged about the Russia investigation. This is about the Clinton Foundation investigation. That's what the lie is about. It's not even about Russia.
So what's the next step? Where does this go from here?
So now the defense will have the opportunity to try to make motions, and there's very few opportunities to try to get a case dismissed, Craig, before it even reaches a jury. But one method for doing that is by saying that this is a vindictive prosecution. And what will be attached as Appendix A to that motion? All of the president's posts, all of the tweets, all of the things the president and his allies have been saying about Comey well before those charges happened, including his most recent demand over the weekend, calling on his attorney general to move against him.
All right, Laura, thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.